January 13th, next forecast. Another nice day in mid-Missouri, sunny, 60 degrees out. Tomorrow we're expected to get some bad weather, but we'll see. It's supposed to be snowy tomorrow night, but we'll see. Maybe not. Anyways, I want to talk about building specs. This is investors, buyers that want to be investors, spec builds. Essentially, spec houses you're building, different than doing commercial, but spec houses essentially do it a couple different ways. You might go to a tax auction and buy some lots, or buy one lot. You may have a lot that's a view front, or in a good neighborhood, or at least that's what you're looking for. Another good way to do it is, like I said in the past, is to go ahead and you buy a house and subdivide it and then put up a house. You're gonna basically free and clear. You can go ahead and use that as a lot of time to pay, maybe forecast cost stuff. A credit union's okay. If your credit's good, go to a mortgage. It's better and fast. If you're gonna be a general contractor on it, and you kind of go for it and do it. And this is kind of another way to do that. If you want to go through a contract, you're gonna, let's see here. If you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna contract yourself, make sure you got some good subcon. Going to do it. You're going to be in paid and draws, and the draws are going to vary per lender. Mortgage broker's better to go to because they've got more people they can go to the lend. Credit's going to have to be pretty good. Don't have to have good credit. You're going to have cash. In that goes. But like I said, that you got a tax auction, at a courthouse auction, which I'm not to go to because all the homes are always overpriced. You can't get a good. If you got a house, you subdivide, or maybe you bought a lot a while ago and you do it. Bill, see, when you're building the spec, make sure. Right now, Ramblers are pretty popular, but I would tell you to do at least a 2-story or 3-story house, or 2-story with a basement, or a 1-story with a basement. If they're really in demand, or a ramp. So you do a daylight with a basement, or you do a 2-story with a basement, 3-story basement, or multi-level house. A lot of it just depends on your view. And basically, if you have, you might be in a good neighborhood or it's not that way. But I would tell you, look for in middle-class neighborhoods are good, because homes going to go do a tear house, or you have a house that you want out and basically get some lots out of old. Usually when you want to do a house that you want to make sure it's at least a 3-bedroom or 4-bedroom. 3 bedrooms is better. 2.5 bath minimal. Living room, dining room, kitchen. Have your rooms for bedroom with a bath. Architect, you want to put a fence on the back at least, or I'd say the back. If you do that, put a deck out there, a good sized deck. That's something good. But if you're doing add-ons, if you're building multiple spec homes, generally I wouldn't do that. Make sure you have a good foundation there, so it's solid. A lot of people try to be cheap, go around it, footings and rebars. Just do it right the first time. Or if you get a GC or some contractor, people or people refer to you can trust. If you're going to have somebody else do a general contractor, make sure you check it out, or somebody you know. But this is a good way to make some money right now, and that's the way it is. Costs are high, so that's going to factor into it. Make sure you got a good real estate to do it. Make sure you got a good mortgage broker to do it. Don't go to a bank. Do not go to a bank. Go to a credit union. You're doing multiple homes. Even in a spec, you can do it. But I'd say go to a broker, and mortgage broker, someone's, like I said, has done residential control, and they'll understanding process on how to do it. But banks suck. I mean, I'm just being straight with you. They stink. Credit unions are better because credit unions are smaller. A lot of times, a senior loan officer, in other words, somebody in charge, and they can go to the president of the bank and say, no problem, signed on. Credit's going to have to be pretty, it's going to be 680 or higher. You're going to have somebody in the bank to piss off, but the thing is profit margin. Also, too, if you live in a city area or the Bay Area, you might be able to find basically a good loan. You can bulldoze a house. You'll be able to put up 4, 5, 6 townhouses on it. In the townhouse, you can sell a good amount. You got to remember the building costs are way up there for wood. They're having problems getting getting the issue just in 2x, 4x8s and stuff like AC units in some areas of the U.S. Basically, getting windows, because sometimes there's been kind of an issue. There's a big window factory right where I'm at that makes and I just forgot the. Anyways, let's see here, and it depends on what part of the U.S. Let me check something real quick. Quaker, that's the name. Quaker Windows. Quaker Windows, pretty good stuff. We've been taking a look at getting some Quaker Windows for some of our own stuff. As far as some of the houses we picked up a tax. I'm a big proponent of tax sales, as you know, and that's just one of those things. And basically, because basically you're buying it at a sale. One of these days, I'm going to have to go over it with you. The real is really the real expert in tax sales. I mean, I know a ton about it, but she's really good at it. And we picked up some good property. We picked up even a few properties a few years ago, and now they're worth over 6 figures now. And we're remodeling this one here, and soon we'll have it run it out, and then we'll go on to the other ones. We're just kind of doing one at a time the way we want, so it's kind of intentional. But anyways, it's kind of fun project deal. But like I said, if you can get the lot in a good area, do it. Now, a different deal if you're like in a real high super area like Beverly Hills or something like that. It's a whole different game. What I'm saying, mitigation fees. But if you go further outside, like San Fernando Valley or something like Portland, you get outside of Portland and you go down towards Beaverton or Corvallis or some of these other areas, there's suburbs that do stuff. And there's even in Seattle, there's one place in Seattle where I grew up, in one part of Seattle called Arbor Heights and Shorewood, and they have these homes with these big lots. A lot of these places are right outside the city, so you only have to follow county policies. So this is stuff that we used to do, me and my cousin. I mean, no one knew we were doing this. We were buying houses, and they were selling the lots for $200,000 a pop. So we had a lot of stuff we were doing that nobody knew about. It's, this, and this. Yeah, well, screw off. Sometimes we'd have 20 properties going at once that we're refinancing. That's 20 mortgages at once, and we were going at doing stuff. So it's a good deal. Apartment buildings. I love apartment buildings. Should be one of your goals, a 5-unit or more, 20-unit or more is the way to go. You get an apartment building that's got a big lot on it. They're not using entire space, and sometimes you can subdivide it and you have another lot where you can go ahead and build another apartment building on it. And I've seen people do that. They're doing it all over Seattle, Portland, and basically what it is, they might be getting an apartment building and a few acres on it, but they're only using, let's just say it's 4 acres. They may only be using 2. They might have 2 acres that you might be able to subdivide, and it's not on record, and you slide it. You can turn around and sell that off, or turn around and build another apartment. Totally rad. So I'm all for the apartment buildings and building them. It's good to go. Prices on stuff are high, but you can still get the product and you can still get it out. You check the comps on it. You have to check, your cap rate. That's gonna be a total variance depending on where you're at. But still, there's where you turn around and get the damn thing off for a monster profit because things are going up. So look at stuff like this because I'm all for the builds, spec builds. I mean, an investor is just things to look at. I was trying to help somebody back in Seattle in 2017, and I was trying to acquire this one lot in this one town in a county right over Snohomish County in Linwood. And I knew the broker, so if the deal didn't work out, but the property sold for $2 million, and the person that bought it's going to build 300 on it. They're only allowed to build 200. They're going to build 300 because they got a variance in the city because they put townhouses in. And I know that there's, I'm telling you, there are deals out there you can find, and you can do this in your spec homes, or I remember tax stocks a couple years ago, builder that up like 20 lots, and they knew the builder that couldn't pay the taxes on it because they went out of business. So they picked up all 20 lots. They've already built half of it out already, getting through all the stuff you got to get through mitigation, environmental stuff, all that stuff. It's not as bad as you can get away with. And they're selling the properties. They're selling the properties for $300 plus $1,000, and they're still the builder's making a mass profit on it because they got the stuff for cheap. They got each for like with the back taxes only like $1,000 a pop. So big deal. They wrote that check for 12 grand. Boom. Now they're building it. Now they're going to make a monster profit because they already knew the seller couldn't. The seller was a builder that went out of business, collected all of it. So there are deals out there. Some saying tax auctions is another. And a tax auction, if the lots are already there and you're an experienced investor or builder, pick those up. Check that out because that can go or you subdivide lot, or you get a commercial lot that you can pick up buildings on it and do it. I mean, you can, or warehouses too. Warehouse is another way to make money because you can lease that stuff out right now. Enough warehouse space in a lot of the West because of all the ships and containers. That's a mega business right there to go and get into. If you're an investor, you should sure that if you're close to a port area, up and down the east or west coast, or this, consider putting up a prefab building 100,000 square feet or whatever, or you know what I'm saying, lease that out in about 2 seconds. So these are other ways you can make money on do it, and I'm all about making the money, and that's why I'm here to help you, because I know how to do it, and nobody's talking stuff because nobody knows how to do it. Nobody's done it. Also, I want to go through apartment building and buildings. You keep those and run a con. And you should listen to Grant Cardone in the last couple months. He's talked about, it might be 10 to 15,000 unit to go in and fix them. So you might pick up a 10, 15, 20, 30 unit. He's got nice brick, good outside, good exterior. And make those a con. If you do that, make sure they're 2 and 3 bedroom apartments only. Don't do. I'm going to say this again because I've done this conversion stuff. Of course, nobody knew about me and my cousin doing this, but we've done it a few times. And it's easy. You got to get a good real estate attorney. Let me emphasize this again. Get a good real estate attorney so they can help the condo conversion. You can set it up. You can set up the homeowners association. Doing it. Some don't have homeowners, so don't set them up, and some do. It's just up to you to talk to your legal counsel about that. Get a good real estate attorney. If you're doing commercial real estate, which all of you should be doing, in addition, unless you're starting out and you're new, you should have it. But if you're starting out new, you should have a real estate attorney anyways. And I knew you see me getting into this, the legal tassels before on a lot of levels. One day I'll get into some more detail. I'm slowly letting it out. And I've been through the legal stuff. People, they're haters. They're haters everywhere, and people hate people that get successful. So I started from zero, and I built something back up. I lost it 3 times. Okay. So I've been through the highlight film, and I know. So I'm here to help, and down the road, as I get more people on and stuff like that, then I'll start putting this out. But like I said before, I've got the knowledge that nobody else is. I mean, there's very few because I've done both sides. So I've done as a real estate agent, mortgage broker, residential and commercial. I've built homes. I converted apartment buildings. So I've done this stuff. I know I've sold properties where they put up warehouses in Seattle. So, I mean, I've already done a lot of this stuff. So, in the subdivision, done it. So I'm telling you, an investor, buyer, if you're a real estate agent, this could be a real side for you, is getting the houses, selling to your investor, subdivide lots, and then sell off to a builder, or for builders, you can sell them off. You can make it kill. It's a side business. And what happens, the investor's going to love you. They may want to build themselves because on the lot, then you might pick up 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, 10 listings. And that, 3%, boom. There you go. Like, it's depending where you're at, it's 850 on the east side, over on the east side of the lake in Bellevue, Issaquah, whatever. And then Seattle area around almost 800, it's like 780, something like that. So there's money to go outside of Seattle. There's still a lot of money to make deals out there. They're you to find. In Portland, I don't care, in the Bay Area. In the Bay Area, I wouldn't go in county. You're going up towards Bodega Bay. Stay away from all those areas. You want to go inland more. So you want to go to Alameda. You want to go to Costa County and keep going. I wouldn't do Napa Valley or Sonoma. I'd go up to Sacramento and keep going north. These are areas to go. If you're in the interior, Orange County, no. LA County to San Fernando Valley or up. Keep going. Keep going 5. And I forgot the city where the LA Rams play. Anyways, you keep going up past there. Inland, there's even St. Louis, Obispo County, if you go inside. Right now, Bakersfield and Fresno, there's good deals. I keep reading about it all the time. So I'm saying to you is there's money to be made. Sacramento, like Oregon, there's a lot of good places. Spokane right now open. Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. Coeur d'Alene's an hour away on 90, and that puts you all the way to Twin Falls. I know all these areas. A lot of building going on Coeur d'Alene, a lot of building. But there's money to be made there. Realtors in Spokane are killing it right now. They hadn't been that way for a long time, but now they're killing it, and the price has really gone up, and they're building there. So that goes out because you can I-90 corner to Spokane where you can just kill it. Because like King, Pierce, Snohomish County, yeah. Even where I'm at out in mid-Missouri, Lake of the Ozarks down the road, you got Jefferson City, and you got Columbia, and then you go to City. But between like Jefferson City, the capital of the state, I mean, it was one of the top 10 in the U.S. to go get a place. And Columbia's in there too. In the lake, it's kind of like Seattle and Tacoma. So a lot of stuff, a lot of people move here, and the values just keep going up and 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 up, and they can't get the stuff up. I mean, the real estate agents up at the lake were killing it. Same thing, Columbia, same thing, and they were killing it. You go over into Kansas, into Wichita, and Kansas City, and in the Kansas City, Kansas on the other side, St. Louis too, and East St. Louis, past East Louis in Illinois, about 20, 30. And Mellon at Nashville. Nashville's about 4 hours away. Chicago 4 hours from St. Louis. People are killing it. People are going in the backside of Kentucky. Indianapolis is 6 hours from Columbia, and Indianapolis is rock and roll. That one TV show with the daughter in the mall. But a lot of those areas they're redoing, those areas are starting to come alive and making money, because I keep reading about it. So what I'm saying to you is you have all these opportunities because it makes you an investor. Agents, mortgage brokers, not as much, but the real estate agents is a whole side business. Investors is a whole side business you can start on doing the rest. Do it now. You're going to have some money in the bank, and you're going to have good credit. It's got to be 680, probably 700, 720 or higher. You're going to have good credit. You have to have your credit lines. You got to have all your stuff knocked out. Make sure you got your LLC set up if you're going to do it. You got to have your builders in place. You got to have a real estate attorney. If you're going to do an apartment building and you buy it, and say you buy unit, maybe a 30 unit. And usually the smaller, it's usually 10, 15, 20 units are good for our condo conversions. So it's in a good area. Even if it's an up and coming area, that's something you want to look for because you might be able to build for less price. You have to have some cash to do it, but the thing is you can do it. And the thing is the banks will finance it because you can do fix and flip. I've got a program right now up to 90% LTV, high-end residential or commercial. I would suggest commercial, and do it to no doc loan. I've got some that are stated, go up to 90%. So call me on that one. nickforecast.com, nickforecast.com, and I can tell you about it. And there's a lot of avenues you can go. See, I'm trying to create avenues and show you streams of income, and these are ways that you can do stuff. And so there's ways you can go as far as putting that together. And I know nobody's talking about this because I see there's only one guy that talks about any of this stuff, and that's Glenn. And he's a total badass. You know, we Gulfstream 650, and you got 12,500 plus units. I think he said the other day. $4.5 billion plus in real estate, or $4 billion or more. You're a player. I mean, you're a player. I saw my interview. He worked $1 billion plus easy, but he's earned it. He's paid his dues in his time. So I know, and I've been a multimillionaire a few times and lost it. So I know the deal. So no one's got anything over on me because I've already done it. And like I said, I was a millionaire before I was 30. So, the first house I ever bought was a foreclosed house. A closed house yet. It was going into foreclosure because I used to do this all the time. And that's another thing you need to start looking at too. If you're a real estate agent investor, you got to go through the foreclosures, pre-foreclosures, and look at that because you might be able to find a house with a big lot in a good area. You might be able to work. It's going to start happening again because as the rates go up, it's going to start to loosen up, to slow way down, but there's still a market. I remember even after 2008 and 2010 and 11, there's one builder in West Seattle, small time. He was building spec homes. He was building specs, but he sold a whole ton of them. He was selling them at full price. So, and that was 2.5 years after the wreckage was still going on. Things didn't really turn around until about 2013, really. But 5 years later, 4 or 5 years later, and it wasn't pent up demand like all people keep saying. It wasn't pent up demand. It was the natural flow stuff because the rates kept coming down, and so it started to change. And a lot of areas in the coast had tech. Even in the Midwest, they had tech. Southwest too. And there's a lot of good areas that you can buy. I'm just saying to you, this is you need to look at and check across the spectrum. If you're a real estate agent, there's good stuff. If you're an investor or a buyer wants to be an investor, this is stuff to look at. So basically on the buildings, going back to look at the area of the apartment building, make sure the apartment building is brick. There's like the bottom part of it's brick can be wood. Make sure it's a nice building. And also, too, it has to be 2 and 3 or 4 bedrooms. Do not, when you see one that has one, don't buy them. Don't even touch them. I mean, it's you're buying it, but this type of deal needs to be a 2-bedroom or a 3-bedroom or apartment units. And that's the ones you want. You're going to have to go through and you'll find ways to cost. You're going to have to blow the kitchens and bathrooms out. This is the most important. You can get the connectors are really cool. They're inexpensive. You're in the Midwest, you go to Menards. They always have a good deal. And Home Depot always got good deals on it. You can buy all the vanities and mirrors. And, hopefully you won't have to change out you may have to put new tile in on on basically you make sure they got a tub or you have the rubber duck tub. If that's a good do that. So you got to look at ways you can mitigate it, putting new tile down there. You might have to, the toilet plus new vanity mirror, paint it, put recess in it. Same thing with so you make it look high as the cabinets, all silver, basically all silver appliances. The floor, I usually put wood floors down, tile if you think it looks cool on that one. Make sure, you paint all the rooms, have lighting in all the rooms, make sure the wood floors, don't put carpet down. Do not put carpet down. Put wood floor on the rest of the house. It's inexpensive. You can get it. get the lighting scored away, get it, take a look at the windows. Some have to be replaced, and these things you're going to have to do. You got to make sure that the yard's all scored away. But your goals, you're trying to make it look really rich, high speed and rich, but you're doing it for a low cost. And right now, there's cool stuff you can get out there pretty cheap. I mean, there's some cool vanities you can go or Home Depot that aren't that expensive, and you get a mirror and the whole kit together for $300. You know what I'm saying? $350. Even with all this craziness going on, you still get deals. I see it all the time. Menards, if you live in the Midwest and the Plains, you still can get the stuff pretty. And Menards goes in the Southeast too. So what I'm saying to you is, and it's cool when you flip the apartment building, is because you can get a good deal on it. You have to have a good real estate, knows the market. And if you have a cherry real estate under 3 years, you got to make sure they look at the comps. What you need to do is yourself, somebody else, need to go through basically all comparable condominiums. You just if as a buyer, and you just go take a look, the 2 and 3 bedroom, 4 bedrooms in your area, somewhere 2 and 3 bedrooms, no 1 bedrooms for the bedroom, don't buy it. Different, unless you're going to rent the whole thing out. If you're doing a condo conversion, that'd be 2 or 3 bedroom or more. And go check out the other condos, competing condos, and just go from there. And make sure you're gonna it's a cost issue. You want to streamline the cost. But if you go to a mortgage that gets you a good lender, you can get it scored away. They can add all that stuff in, do it in draws. You're good. If you get a credit union, they'll do the same. Go to your bank. Now, if you're a serious hardcore investor, then if you got good relations with the bank and you can get over it, the only thing is our appraisers, because there's the before and the after kind of deal on that one. So if you can buy it all cash, great, but still finance it, you want to save your cash and try to get the lender to pick up and buy as much as you can. You're gonna have to have cash. You're doing a condo conversion. You're gonna have to have. You need to have. You're gonna have to have some cash. It's a real game here, and this is for real players. If you're new, this is a real game. Saying the real estate agent giving a new agent, you might be giving a new cherry agent that's been doing it 1 to 3 years, and this break with a builder, and then you turn a builder and you start making money. I know a guy. When I started out, real estate agent, he worked this one agent office who's been doing it 30 years now, and she's a millionaire. And he ended up becoming a realtor and had his own company, and I don't know what he does now. And he's been out of a millionaire, smart cat. He knew how to buy to go around, and he'd buy houses, subdivide lots. He'd sell off the lots, or he built spec houses. He made a killing doing it. I know they used to do this. He was a nurse in the Seattle area, and he used to do the same thing. And he used to buy buildings and keep them. Right now, he owns, I think, 5 apartment buildings, and almost all of it off. So he's cash. He refinances them here and there, like Cardone says. Do it one day. I'll get in the refinance game, because that's what juice is at. There's a lot of ways for you to make money, and talk about this because the whole is basically to make money, put a good price, or just turn around and make more cash. Spec house, doing the commercial, doing that way, building an apartment, building a house, using off lots, your condo conversions. These are all good to go. Now, make sure a good attorney, a real estate attorney. If I don't care if you're an investor, or if you're a cherry buyer, you own a couple properties and you're starting to get in the investing game, make sure you got a good real estate attorney. Just sure if you have any questions, you can go to them, because you're going to have a real estate agent. More than likely, you're not going to know everything. You're not going to know a lot of stuff, because most don't, and a lot of them don't understand what's going on. Even experienced agents a lot of times don't. Mortgage broker is going to help you get the financing, and that's usually the case. So, you got any questions? Go to nickforecast.com. Go to nickforecast.com, or go to Facebook/nickforecast. At Facebook, Nick's Forecast. Any questions? And subscribe to my channel. Tell everybody else to subscribe to my channel. And like I said, I'm here to provide good information for you. Something out. That's cool. All right. Have a good day. Bye.